One of my favorite shows is No Passport Required because it combines two things that makes food great, and that is culture and people. I think we've watched every episode at least twice. So when we caught the episode on Detroit, Michigan, which happens to be just 2 hours from our hometown, it was the perfect opportunity for a road trip. Because the idea was to hit up as many spots as we could in one day, we needed to have some sort of plan put together. So we got the list from Google, and then that was the starting point of the list of places that we would visit in Detroit. One of the most memorable experiences from the trip was the US border crossing. So one of the questions that the officer asked was, where were we going? And so my first answer was, we're going to Detroit. And so he was like, where in Detroit? And I started listing out all of these restaurants that we're gonna visit in a day and come back over to Canada. So then he says again, where are you going? And so I'm like, I just listed all of these places that I'm going. Why are you asking me the same question again? So then he said to me, no, I don't think you understand. Here in the US, we don't have this same GTA term. So where are you going? Then I was like, oh, we're going to Garden City, Michigan, Dearborn Heights, and downtown Detroit. Finally, he was like, oh, that's great. Have a great trip. Our first stop was Al Sultan restaurant in Garden City, Michigan. This one was not on Chef Marcus's list, but it was just one that I Googled and it had a really great review, and so I decided this is where we were going to stop. We ordered fried kibe and the house maza, which had tabbouleh, hummus, baba ganoush, stuffed grape leaves, falafel, and vegetables. But what made this experience memorable was that some point between us ordering our food, having received it, and starting to indulge, I think it was the owner came around and he just kind of went to every table and he was like, hi cousin, how are you? Are you enjoying the food? Is there anything you need? And I thought that was a really nice and friendly touch, just to come around and say hi at every table. And everyone was like family because everyone was his cousin. So it was like a really nice little touch on his way out. After this, we decided to ask the waitress, who was very, very friendly at Al Sultan, for her recommendations on where we could get really, delicious Middle Eastern sweets. And she suggested Lebanon. She said it was really good. It's one of her favorite places and it's really popular. So that was our next stop. We went to Lebanon shop and we got some of their treats and we kind of boxed them up and put them in the car, and those came back with us. We didn't try them at the sweet shop. We thought we'd go somewhere else, grab something else, and maybe sit there, have some tea and some sweets. So that's what we did. We hopped over to Hashim's Roastery and Meat Market to check out this one. I was pretty excited to find some spices I can't easily find back home. So on my list was sumac, za'atar, and falafel spices. So those were the things that I grabbed from Hashim's to bring back home with me. Our last stop was Sag Cafe and Bakery in Dearborn Heights. There we did get some tea, and we also got some sweets, and we just kind of sat there and just chilled for a bit, kind of just to observe the scene. The sweets were good, the tea was good, and we just relaxed.